Okay, for the third fundamental characteristic of a contract, we have mutuality. So, para mas madaling tandaan, pag mutuality, meaning lang po, kung there is a mutual understanding, kung crush ka, dapat crush ka rin yan, no? So, there is a mutuality. Now, kidding aside, so when we say mutuality, the contract must bind both contracting parties. So, again, it should be reciprocal and bilateral. There is an agreement, there is a consent between two parties. So, there is a mutuality, there is already an agreement. No? Validity or compliance cannot be left to the will of one of them. So, bawal po daw si A lang yung magsabi, yung isang kaparty lang yung magsabi na ganito, ganyan. Siya lang magde-decide kung yung pera, siya rin yung magde-decide ng bagay na ibibigay. So, bawal po yun, no? So, there should be a mutuality again, there should be an agreement between two parties. Determination of performance may be left to a third person. Pwede naman daw yung determination of performance ibigay muna, no? Or should be left with the third person. So, meaning lang po to, yung third person yung magde-decide between the agreement of between the two parties. So, whose decision shall not be binding until it has been made known pa both the contracting parties. So, let's say for example, si A bibili ng cellphone, tapos let's say si A bibili ng item na hindi rin alam ni B yung price na. Si A ngayon bibili ng relo, na say relo na lang. Itong relo na to sobrang tanda na, or very unique siya, no? Tapos siya may-ari ng relo na yon. So there is a third person na mag-act ng between those two persons. So yung third person will determine the price. So, ganon. Pwede pong ganon. Ito yung dapat mong bayaran. Ito yung pwede mong gawin sa third person. So, magte-take effect lang po ito kung yung third person na yun, sasabihan niya si A. Kung ano yun, ang sasabihan niya si C. Then, these two should agree. And there is a contract na. Determination shall not be obligatory if it is evidently inequitable. So, kung talagang pinapaboran si third person, so bawal po yun, no? Because there is an inequality. So, dapat, in good faith po si third person. Bawal po yung magkaroon siya ng bias or inequitable siya any of the side of the party. So, in such case, the court, pag hindi na talaga in good faith yung third person, yung court na po yung papasok, no? Si court na po yung magde-decide kung ano yung equitable under the circumstances. So, depende yan sa specific scenario, yung court na po yung magde-decide. Okay, ano yung mga illustration natin? In a contract of sale, the fixing of the price, kanina ba? And the delivery date can be left to the third person. The decision of the third party will be binding after it is made known to the seller and buyer. So, yung third person daw, pwede siya yung mag-decide kung ano yung price and the delivery. As long as it is good faith and it is equitable. So, bawal po yung inequitable. Now, the decision of the party, dapat tong ipaalam kan A and kan B. Para masabi natin inequitable and justified yung kanyang pag-fix ng price. Okay, so ganun lang po yun. Ano yung escalation clause natin? Pag sinabi po natin escalation clause, where one increases or decreases compensation of one of the parties. So, pag binawasan or tinaasan yung pagbayad natin sa one of the parties. So, paano ba yun nangyayari, no? Kailan to magiging void? When the increase is dependent solely upon the will of the one of the party. So, let's say, nagkaroon ka ng lease of contract, no? Sa lease of contract, tapos, since alam mo na mayaman naman yung estudyante na nag-renta sa'yo, or any of the person na alam mo mayaman, so nag-take for granted ka, tinasa mo yung presyo ng renta without hindi naman patas para sa kanya. Let's say yung renta talaga, yung regular is 5,000, no? 5,000, no? Ulitan natin, no? Okay, ikaw to, tapos may bahay ka, then may estudyante ka, nag-renta or customer, Customer. Is customer. I-erase natin eh. Again, ikaw to, may bahay ka. Now, ito yung customer mo. Dahil si customer, ang regular lang talaga na binabayaran was 5,000 pesos per month. Ngayon naman, since ikaw, nalaman mo mayaman naman to, what if, na lang, gawin natin 10,000. Okay, ganun pa lang, hindi na yung equitable para sa customer mo. Kasi, bakit mo naman tataas ang presyo? Wala ka naman lang talagang economic basis or any basis. Basta tinaasan mo lang siya. So, there is a bias decision. So, dapat equitable po yun. Kasi pag ginawa niya yun, it will be void. Okay? The unilateral determination and imposition of increased interest rates by the bank is obviously violative of the principle of mutuality contracts ordained in the Article 1308 of the Civil Code. So, bawal po yun na isa lang po yung mag-decide. So, kailan magiging valid kung isa lang yung mag-decide? Now, there is an exception of the exception. Now, there is an exception. Kailan daw magiging valid? There is a contract of piece of work. Pag contract of piece of work, where the compensation of the contractor may be increased on the basis minimum wage or as material based on the consumer price index. Okay, let's say for example, okay, ikaw to again. Then you have an artist ka, tapos nagbebenta ka ng mga painting. Now, you discovered that yung paggamit mo ng mga paintbrush or painting or any color material ay tumaas yung presyo due to inflation, due to other factor. Tapos, since kailangan mong ma-cover up yung cost na yon, diba, tataasan mo din yung pagsingil mo ng presyo sa customer mo. Since contract of piece of work ka, by of nature, yung paggawa mo ay kumikita ka lang based on commission, so, pwede ka po tumaas ng pagpresyo. So, depende na rin yun sa kabilang party kung tatanggapin yung contract na yun. Now, about contract of lease naman, for example, kanina, kung mga rental, it should be based on the movement, kung there is an valuation or devaluation of foreign exchange, pwede po yun valid. As long as may basis ka, economic basis or any basis talagang pwede mong taasan yung pagrenta. Next, we have relativity of contracts. So, ito, in-example ko na to last time, di ba? Pag relativity of contract means the contract takes effects only, is binding only between parties. There are signs, hairs, which are referred to as previous. Again, di ba? In-example ko to. Let's say, for example, ito, bahay ni mama. Okay, mama and papa mo. Okay? Tapos, namatay to. Namatay sila. Tapos, iniwan tong bahay mo na worth 5 million pesos. Ikaw ito, Ikaw to. Ngayon, ang inutangan ng parents mo was actually 10 million pesos. Nag-utang sila nung nabubuhay pa sila ng worth 10 million. Okay, nag-utang sila dito sa taong to. Since sila ang nag-utang sa taong to na ganito, ang tanong dyan, ilan ba yung amount na pwedeng isingil or ni nang nagmana o yung hair, dito, ilan yung pwede niyang isingil. Yung pwede lang pong isingil yung worth lang ng real estate. So, bawal po siyang singilin ng more than 5 million. So, pwede din magbigay siya ng 10 million as long as pumayag talaga siya kasi yung hair kung nasa konsensya na rin niya. So, pero sa batas, bawal po singilin. Bawal mag-compel. Basta, bawal po mag-compel, Okay, ganyan lang po yung sa relativity. Okay? Now, next tayo sa kailangan ko ba ito? Natin na. A creditor may initiate an action against the counterparty. Creditors are protected in case of contracts intended to default them. The following actions are allowed for creditors effectively interfering in contracts to which they are not parties to. Okay na. Action Pauliana is the action of the creditor to rescind the contract entered into by the debtor to defraud him. So, ano yung illustration natin dito? So, lagay tayo dito ng illustration. Ito nga, si D daw, may utang kan C. D is indebted to C for 1 million. Out of cash, he sold his last remaining property to X to avoid paying C with it. So, let's say, si D may utang daw na 1 million. Ngayon si D, wala nang pangbayad. Pero, di ba sa law, kapag walang pambayad, pwede ka nang habulin sa personal property mo. Pero dito, ang ginawa ni B, para makatakas siya, binenta niya kan C, which is actually contrary to law. Because, ang ginagawa niya po is maka-avoid ng utang. No? So, ano ang pwedeng maging solusyon ni C? Ito na po yung action Pauliana. No? Is the action of creditor to rescind the contract. Si C, pwede siyang pumunta doon. No? Pwede niyang pasukin yung contract between pwedeng si D na may utang, di ba siya kan X? Ay, no. Si D, isin natin para maintindihan natin to. Okay? Para maintindihan yung action Pauliana. No. Let's say si D, di ba? May utang siya kan C. Ngayon si D, yung lupa, remaining property, any property, let's say for example ang lupa, binenta niya kan X. Bakit niya binenta? Gusto niyang makatakas. Etong action Pauliana, pwede niya po ito i-cancel. Bawal. Kasi kung ibebenta mo yan, paano kung hindi ka na makabayad? Wala akong makukuha sa iyo. So, pwede siyang magkaroon ng action, no? So, that is action Pauliana. Okay? So, in this instance, C can sue for the rescission of the contract of sale even if he is not party thereto, no? So, pwede nga pasukin ni C itong contract na to between D and X. Kasi talaga, at the first place, ang may utang, ang party was D and C. So, iniiwasan lang talaga ni D na magbayad siya ng utang kan C. Kaya binenta niya yung property kan X. So, bawal po yun na. So, yung si C, ang pwede niyang gawin was action Pauliana, bawal niyang pwede niyang i-rescind, no? I-cancel yung contract between those two parties. Okay? So, that's it. Next lesson naman tayo. So, again guys, kung hindi man natin matapos to, please do advanced reading. Kasi ganyan po talaga pag college, no? Advanced reading lang po tayo. So, good luck. And, kaya niyo yan. Tiwala lang.